Hello everyone, I'm Mike DeAngelo with That's Entertainment, and this is your video review of Fable 3 by Lionhead Studios. After a series of letdowns by Lionhead Studios head Peter Molyneux, I'm pretty sure somebody gets it. It's either him, or it's us, or a combination of both, but I don't recall hearing any wild claims of ridiculously impossible feats of developing prowess that just have no potential of ever seeing the light of day. And that I say, bravo Mr. Molyneux. Even in the light of all the ways that the prior Fable games failed to deliver on promises, they were still impressive and entertaining games. Now, Fable 3 is posed to continue that trend, just 2 years after the last game. Like all the releases in the series though, there has to be something new available to really push the franchise forward.
Come closer, brother. Today you have disappointed.
Oh, go away, Jasper.
Now that is hard.
Like a breath of fresh air compared to prior games in the series, your origins are not so humble after all. 50 years following the events of Fable 2, two siblings will be thrust into a political bout that will tear their family apart. You are one of those two siblings. The once proud monarch of the kingdom, the hero from the game before, has left your brother Logan in control of Albion. Unfortunately, he presents himself as a tyrannical dictator who is a danger to his citizens and even his sibling. After being faced with a difficult choice, you are whisked away to safety by aides to your family. You leave the castle that has been your home, together with a brave warrior, a humble servant, and your loving dog. Your necessary exile is fraught with the trials of a hero, however, demanding that you follow in the steps of the brave ones that came before you. In time, you'll find that the people of Albion depend on you greatly, and that only you have the power to free them from Logan's grip of tyranny, and aid them against the coming darkness.
Your support will make all the difference, I'm certain of it.
While most of Fable 3 will feel fairly familiar, there are enough variations to the well-known formula to keep you on your toes. The same basic mechanics remain. You use your sword, magic, and gun to defeat your opposition. Unlike previous titles in the series, your development in these skills is somewhat dynamic. The game recognizes the way that you enter combat and upgrades your skills accordingly. You're still free to upgrade your characters in other ways, but your weapons will change in a way that corresponds to how you normally approach battle. Of course, the trials and tribulations of this new brand of hero don't stop at the end of a sword. The game focuses a great deal on the politics of Albion, and the need to find you as its new ruler. Throughout the course of the game, you'll have to make increasingly difficult choices that will determine how the populace sees you, and ultimately, the fate of Albion as a whole. The concept of choice has always been prevalent throughout the Fable series, but it is perhaps more personal and intimate in this game than ever before. This third game really delivers some difficult decisions to you, and it leaves you with some interesting revelations as time goes on. Some of the interfaces have changed, which can be disruptive at first, but once you get past that, it starts to make more sense and become more comfortable by nature.
I've seen what must be done, and nothing will stand in my way.
One thing is certain. Though encroached by the dark heart of a madman, Albion has never looked better. There is a sense of realism underlying within this game, even in its cartoony roots, that makes many other games look laughable in comparison. The countryside, the multitudes of catacombs and dungeons, and the castles and buildings all look spectacular. And things look even better once the game jumps into its cutscenes, or slows down and shows you a cool-looking flourish attack. While the music and the sound aren't the most powerful or memorable, they are competent enough to entertain you on your journeys throughout the world. There are plenty of well-known actors that lend their voices to this latest release of Fable. Among them are Simon Pegg, Stephen Fry, and John Cleese. Plenty more fill the ranks of this wonderfully voiced release, even if sometimes they can seem a little invasive. You'll also notice that the protagonist isn't silent like he was in the prior games, which is a nice step forward for the franchise.
To lead a rebellion. Your instruction today. He seems obsessed with combat training lately.
I'm happy to report that Fable 3 comes through in a big way. Yes, there are still some design choices that seem a little odd, but for the most part, the people at Lionhead have done a noticeable job at making sure this game delivers. I was always a little apprehensive of the developer because of some of the shady choices they've made in the past, but this is one of the times where I'm actually very interested in seeing what else they can do with this series. Do yourself a favor and pick up this game. That's Entertainment awards Fable 3 a score of 9 out of 10.